All right, everybody. Welcome into the NFL Seekers podcast. The days are ticking. We are now in football season, and we're going to be getting a final mock in for you guys just one more time. This episode is going to just be a purely my guys draft. We're in a 12-team PPR right here. Danny's going to be picking at the 2, Shane's at the 7, and I am at the 10 right now. But draft season is here. This is our last and final mock before the season starts, and so we're gonna throw this one out here for you guys. How we doing, Shane and Dan?
Man, it is so close. We just got done with a little co-manager keeper league draft. It's fun to get back into the real swing of drafts because we like to wait for the very last minute. So we're getting down to the wire. It's so exciting, and it's kind of sad this is our last mock draft. And like if you think about it, mock drafts are done until like next July. Like no more mock drafts.
Oh,
Um,
that's
it,
depressing.
because like mock drafts are such a fun, quick little era and time to get prepared, but those are gone, and here we are. We're about ready.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's here. The main draft is tomorrow, and I'm really pumped for it. And yeah, by my guy mock draft, we kind of just mean we've been doing a lot of mock drafts this offseason. So we kind of have guys that we have just been drafting more than others at certain spots. So we're going to be telling you guys just the guys that we've been drafting the most this offseason and kind of just giving an analysis on the guys we pick. And we did randomize the draft order. So I'm happy with the second pick. I know I'm going to get a good receiver here.
Oh man, it's this is crazy. I can't believe we're September now. What are we? September 2nd today or 3rd?
Third.
September 3rd today. I can't believe football is this Thursday. So we have just a few more days until we get to see the Lions and the Chiefs duke it out. And then we get to do, we have some fun episodes coming up in the sense of we're going to be doing starters, sitters, sleepers for the week. But one last healthy mock exercise to put out right before your guys' drafts. If you're drafting later, as you should be with all the news that's recently dropped. So, should we get it? Oh, sorry.
Well,
We get into it.
speaking of news, should we talk about a couple of things?
Yeah.
Like,
Cooper Cup.
oh,
Yes. That's a big one.
that's going to
What?
affect your guys' drafts very early.
Yes. I mean, he's
probably out week one.
what it seems like.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's definitely a lock at this point.
And it feels like, I guess we don't necessarily know the severity, but it could be a Keenan Allen of last year type thing. I mean, Keenan Allen missed the first 10 weeks of the year. That's drafting a guy with that many question marks for when he could actually be back fully healthy is a big risk for your first round pick, second round pick. However, whenever you draft him, it's going to be a massive risk because you don't know when he's going to come back, and the hamstring it always just tends to creep back up on these guys. So it's scary. I don't want Cooper Cup. It's not worth it to me.
The same exact thing can be said for Jerry Jeudy too. I'll be honest, I've been a big advocate of Jerry Jeudy and I've drafted him a lot, but he does have a hamstring injury, and that could be a, like you said, Keenan Allen nagging type thing that's really annoying over the course of a season. Me and Josh both just drafted Keenan and Jeudy in our co-manager league, so hopefully that works out.
The scary thing with Cooper Cup is it seems to be like he re-aggravated his hamstring, and so now it's just all kind of question marks and up in the air. But I mean, again, Cooper Cup could be a tremendous steal if you're getting him in this, if he falls to the second or the third round in your draft. I know it's kind of hard to want to touch him in the first round right now, but I mean, if you're getting Cooper Cup in the second round, or even hell, he falls to the third round and he comes back, in 2 or 3 weeks, that's insane value to me right there. I mean, Cooper Cup is gonna put you up 20 points a game no matter what it seems like. So, I mean, this could be a really good opportunity to steal Cooper Cup. I mean, you're taking a risk, but it's very high upside risk.
Yeah, I think I'm out on him in the first round, but I think in the second round, especially like mid to late second round, I could not fault you for taking Cooper Cup there. That's pretty awesome value.
And that's where he just went in our co-manager league that we just did. And so that could be that. And I'm not gonna even lie, even in the second round, I was a little scared. But if you think about it, he really is tremendous value right now.
It's not going to be a bad pick. Is there any other injury news you want to talk about, Shane?
I mean, there's Jonathan Taylor, but I guess it just comes down to how early would you draft him. I think he's went in the 5th round in our draft we just did.
Yeah.
And I still, I don't know if I would touch him. I mean, me and my buddy Parker, who were my co-manager, we were like, at what point do we just take him?
Yeah.
I guess 5th round could be good value, assuming he does come back. What, week 5? He's out the first 4 weeks for sure.
Yeah.
But is he even going to play? Like, we don't know.
That's a real possibility that no one's really taken into consideration too. So it's so scary.
Yeah, the fact
could
that
be
he
great.
might not even play this season. I mean, the Colts might be content, keeping him out all year. And then, I mean, they want to hang on to some trade value. They don't want to just let him ride through the year and not get any compensation out of him. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if him and the Colts, I mean, I guess every relationship can just be fixed by money. But it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of out on him. I don't even want to even touch him because he might not even play. And I don't think it's worth the risk right now, even in the 5th or 6th round.
Agreed.
All right. Let's start the mock. Let's see who goes first before I pick it too.
Oh,
Christian McCaffrey.
Lucky Dan.
Well, that's interesting. So for the sake of the podcast, I think Justin Jefferson should be the first pick in all of these.
Hold.
Okay.
I mean, it's a real Christian McCaffrey still has an argument to be the first overall pick. There's a lot of weird people out there. I mean, it's fair. Majority of people I'm sure would take Jefferson, but there's still a lot of people out there that would take McCaffrey. So it's not out of this world.
No.
You know what? You're not wrong. There are some weird people out there. I had a draft last week actually where I got Jefferson at 2. So
yeah. Take him.
It's completely fair fake.
You know what? Since it's a my guys mock draft, I'm going to take Jamar Chase because this is someone that I've been really high on all offseason. I think he's going to be right next to Jefferson. I really do. I think he's going to be production wise really close to Jefferson personally. So since this is a my guys mock draft, I'm going to show that with picking him over Jefferson at pick 2. In a real draft, I'd take Jefferson, but I think Chase is number 2.
I mean, that's fair. There's a real possibility. Jamar Chase, if he plays all 17 games, that dude is the wide receiver 1 come January. Okay, so after Jamar went Justin Jefferson, Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Kelce at 6, and I'm up here at 7.
Got finessed of Kelce.
Yeah, Kelce would have been such an easy pick. I want the Kelce Mahomes stack again so bad. I had him last year. Once you have it once, it's all you want. Oh man. So since we're kind of, the point of this is to kind of reach for our my guys. I won't be touching Bijan. I've never drafted him. I don't think in one mock I've ever done. I'm going Saquon here. I'm a big fan of Saquon. Sure, it's probably a little early, but I think Saquon is going to be amazing this year.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue that. I really love Saquon Barkley, and I think talent wise, he's top 3 talent running back in all of the NFL. And then right after you, Shane, Tyreek Hill and Nick Chubb go. And me and Danny just took Bijan Robinson with our 4th pick. Given it is 1 keeper league. But I mean, I've been preaching to the choir all year long. Bijan has been my dude. I preached picking him at 1, and I'm that weirdo who would take him at 1, because I'm that high on him. I think Bijan is going into the perfect system. I think he's a near flawless running back. There's nothing he can't do, and you're going to get all aspects of that in fantasy football. And so, give me Bijan Robinson here.
Love it. He's got to be electric.
Yeah, at the 10th pick, that's
absolute steal. If this happened in real life, I would absolutely just be ecstatic.
His ADP is 105 right now, so on Sleeper. So technically, that's an absolute steal where you just got him.
Yeah. Now this is a tough pick for me. I mean, let's see. Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra, AJ, and Derrick Henry just went after me. So I got CeeDee Lamb, Patrick Mahomes, Cooper Kupp still there, Garrett Wilson, Josh Jacobs, and even Tony Pollard, who I've really been preaching a lot.
That's your dude.
he has been my dude.
And running backs are your dude.
And running backs are my dudes. And I feel completely, even though his ADP on Sleeper is a little lower, I feel completely comfortable taking Tony Pollard right here. I don't care.
No.
I think I'm gonna, I'm gonna throw this out there. I think he's gonna finish top 5 or higher in fantasy football for running backs. That is a my guy right there. Those are 2 my guys.
Tony Pollard and Bijan's got to be like the highest upside fantasy duo of all time. That's pretty fun.
So after Stores went Mahomes, that's who I wanted, and Garrett Wilson, and I'm back up with the 206. CeeDee Lamb is still on the board. He's what's his ADP right now? CeeDee Lamb on Sleeper ADP, the 204, 206, right? Yep, I'm taking CeeDee. It's an easy pick for me. I'm starting out with Saquon CeeDee. I like that.
That's
like
such a
it's a
steal.
common I feel like it's
will
a
say-
stack at like the 10, or 11.
Yeah, I will say, like, when I pick at the 10 or 11, Saquon and CeeDee is my target every single time. If I'm picking on the back end, that's what I want at the turn every single time is Saquon CeeDee. That's like a dream.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen falls to me. Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Jacobs all go after Shane. And I am considering Josh Allen. I would like to stack Chase with Burrow.
That would be a very nice stack to have.
You know what? I'm gonna go Olave.
No, screw you.
I'm gonna go Olave, and I feel bad because he's probably more of a Shane my guy because he's literally been Shane's talked about Olave in every single fantasy episode we've done. But Olave is going to be absolutely awesome. He's being drafted in a cluster of wide receiver 2s where he's the real wide receiver 1 in his offense, and he's going to break out. So get him as much as you can in fantasy.
Solid pick.
Really intriguing to reach on Joe Burrow here. That would be a big reach, though.
That would be a big reach. I mean, he's going. Let's see. He's going at the last pick in the 3rd round on Sleeper, and you're in the 2nd pick on the 3rd round.
So I'm definitely not getting him back. And I do love my stacks, but
yeah. I mean, you could.
You want to reach? I mean, that's a big reach. The 3-2 is kind of insane, but if you want to reach, you're not going to get him again.
Oh, I'm not going to do it. Josh Allen just went. That's kind of irresponsible, to be honest. Irresponsible.
Bro is tilting right now.
I really want to take Jahmyr Gibbs so bad right now, like so bad, but
do it. That's a good pick right here. That's what we just did about in our co-manager league.
We did, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take Jahmyr Gibbs right here because I think he's going to be drafted in the 1st round next year. I think he's going to be a steal in drafts, and we just took him in the 3rd round actually in our draft. So I think it's a good pick.
After Danny, Ramondre Stevenson, Devonta Smith, Mark Andrews, Travis Etienne, and I'm back up with the 307. I've got Saquon and CeeDee, so I can really do. Oh, this is, I think, pretty easy. My dude. Let me still. Yeah, I gotta go. I have to go with my dude Najee. I'm just looking here. I'm sorry, but George Kittle is. Oh my gosh, I almost hit the draft button. George Kittle is way too high.
Way too high.
Way too high. Yeah, this is Najee. That's my dude. I have a Najee Harris jersey and a Najee Harris shirt hanging up in my closet right there.
Can't get much more of a my guy than that, man.
All right. So after Shane just goes Joe Mixon, which I'm very bummed about because that was definitely somebody I was considering. DK Metcalf. So wow, there's a few different options I could go right here. So wide receiver Calvin Ridley, Debo Smith, and Keenan Allen.
Debo Smith, that's a new one.
Yeah, Debo Smith, he's him. I hate Debo Samuel. Definitely will not be taking him, aka Debo Smith.
Yeah,
I kind of like him though. Like I'm kind of growing on him for some reason. I don't even know why.
On Debo Smith or Debo Samuel?
Yeah, which one? There's a distinct difference. I'm gonna have to go with my dude here, and I think he's the best wide receiver left on the board, and he's gonna be a PPR machine. So give me Keenan Allen. I feel comfortable taking.
Yeah, that wasn't even a question. Come on.
I have very distinct dudes. I mean, it's kind of easy to read me come draft day. We'll see. Maybe I'm just bluffing y'all. Uh, but let's see. Now, let's see who just went. Oh, there goes Dan's dude, Joe Burrow, Calvin Ridley, Lamar Jackson, Debo Smith. So I got Aaron Jones here, Amari Cooper, George Kittle, Justin Fields, and Justin Herbert. Well, I would really just be going against my religion if I didn't go Justin Herbert, who I think will finish as the top 3 fantasy quarterback this year.
Yeah, he got the stack of his 2 biggest my guys of all off season, so I respect it.
Oh man.
So after Stores with the 404 went Aaron Jones, Brees Hall, and I'm up. I've got CD, Najee, and Saquon. Who do we got? I mean, you got Amari Cooper, D Hop, DJ Moore, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor. Nope. Damian Pierce. Man, this is
the fantasy dead zone right here.
This feels like just a dead zone in general, which is so weird because it's only the 4th round. It's not a reach on him. I'm taking him about 5 or 6 picks before the ADP. I'm gonna go Justin Fields. I really like him this year.
I'm be honest, that was my pick. So
Nope, mine.
Thanks for that. And I think I still do know my pick though, and it's gonna be TJ Hawkinson. He's kind of falling down drafts. Like I just got him behind Kittle. That's absurd. He's kind of been my guy all off season as well. I think he's really close to Mark Andrews. So I believe that's a big steal. So
And that dude just got paid. So
yep, he did. Yeah, good timing. And then I want one of these quarterbacks, so I'm just going to take one because there's a huge drop off. I'm going to take Trevor. I'm going to take both my onesie positions, and I think Trevor's in for a big season. So
there's such a clear, just overall tier break from Mahomes to Trevor Lawrence to Dak and down. Like it's such a clear tier break. It's crazy.
It's the most obvious one in fantasy for sure.
Okay, so after Danny took Trevor Lawrence with the 2nd pick in the 5th round, went Damian Pierce, DJ Moore, Dalvin Cook, Brandon Ayuk, and I'm up. I can really go absolutely anywhere. Anywhere I want. And the tight end that I just drafted in our keeper league, I'm going to draft here. That's Mr. Darren Waller. I've been high on Darren Waller. I have him as my tight end 3. That is the definition of my guy right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's been a dude you've been pounding the table for all season. I was happy to see you get him today.
Thanks, man.
But
what about Evan McPherson? Were you happy to see me get Evan McPherson?
Yeah, Shane got an absolute steal at the 10-5 with Evan McPherson. That just really made my night and put a big smile on my face. I'm gonna have really sweet dreams just thinking about that. Anyway, so after Shane, Terry McLaurin and Dallas Goedert, which kind of made my pick really easy right here. I was gonna go Terry McLaurin if he was available. But another guy I've been pounding the table for myself all season is Miles Booby Sanders. He's the clear-cut number 1 running back in that offense, and I'm just so excited. I think he's really going to do something special this year. He quietly had 1,300 rushing yards, and I think it was like 8 touchdowns last year. So I think that's tremendous value at running back later. And then let's see who just went at the turn. Chris Godwin, James Conner, Drake London, and Christian Watson. Now this is a tough pick for me, but here's a guy who's an absolute sleeper, who's just been a stud for, it seems like the last 10 years, this dude has 900 plus yards and 10 plus touchdowns almost every season, maybe a little less than 10, but Tyler Lockett is just not being talked about enough for how truly good he is of a receiver.
He never gets the respect he deserves. Every year, when I just drafted Tyler Lockett in our keeper league we just did, I was telling my buddy that co-manages it with me, he's always going into drafts around the wide receiver 30 range, and then he'll finish as a top 15 wide receiver. It's been like that the last 4 years. He's such I think even with JSN there, it's not going to hurt him negatively. So yeah, Tyler Lockett's still such a great pick. Let's see, right now, he's going at the 6'11". You got him at 6'03", 6th round. That's not terrible. It's not a reach necessarily. It's not terrible. Okay, so
he will outperform his ADP almost every single year. So you can feel pretty confident with Tyler Lockett always.
So after Stores went Christian Kirk and Cam Akers, and I'm up here. This dude is, I feel like I keep saying this, but this dude is my dude. If you watch our running back rankings, I went to war for this guy, and that's Alexander Madison. I love this guy this year. So that's who I'm taking.
I like it. Oh, there goes Jew. One pick before Dan.
That's unreal. Absolutely.
And your boy Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, you're my guy and my biggest my guy. So I guess that leaves me with my other Bronco my guy. So I got to go Javonte Williams.
Sutton. Oh,
yeah, later. My running back 21, Javonte Williams. I feel like he's just been one of the bigger steals all offseason. I've been pounding the table all offseason, and it looks like he's going to be playing week 1. So I'm really excited for Javonte. And I'll mention Judy too, because I'm excited for him if he stays healthy. Dang, I missed out on the Evan Ingram Trevor stack. And this one's going to surprise you guys, but actually, no. I'm going to wait.
I would say bro is scrolling right now.
I think I know.
I'm going to wait.
I may take him, Dan, at the turn. So if you want to do him.
Man.
You know you want him.
I'm gonna do something unique because I feel like he's a my guy, but I never draft him, and that's George Pickens. I feel like he's gonna be a beast, and I want to get him tomorrow. I'll be honest.
I feel like George Pickens being drafted before Deontay Johnson is absolutely wild. Pickens is it's like on a much lower level. It's like an AJ Brown, Devonta Smith type thing. George Pickens is the deep ball guy that can get the big touchdown, and then Deontay Johnson is like the safe, higher target guy. But I don't know. George Pickens could break out
definitely a higher upside pick. I feel like George Pickens will definitely improve from year 1 to year 2. But I agree that Deontay Johnson is definitely the better wide receiver.
Yeah. So after Danny went Dak Prescott, gross, Michael Pittman, Deshaun Watson, and Tua, a lot of quarterbacks. And I'm up here at the 707. That's unfortunate. I need a wide receiver, and my dude Rachaad White is sitting there, but I just can't do it because I need a wide receiver. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver 1, Deontay Johnson.
Dang it.
Okay, the only gross thing about that is I have Najee, but it's a mock draft. We'll just forget about that.
Shane, would you like to make a little water bet real quick on whose 7th round pick's going to end up being better?
Let's do it.
Hey, all right, let's do it. What do you want to do?
$20.
We'll do $20. We'll add it to our notes for the season.
Yeah, have you started that note page?
Yeah, I did. I did after the last episode. So
pull it up right now. Let's see it.
Oh, well, it's on my phone. So
okay.
I will. Yeah, next time I will. But Shane.
All right. So, all right, you think George Pickens will finish higher than Deontay Johnson?
I think he'll barely finish higher than Deontay. Yeah, I do.
I think
he'll finish as the wide receiver 1.
I think Deontay Johnson will finish higher than George Pickens.
All right. I guess we'll see whose 7th round pick was better.
It's a bet.
All right. Well, on the note of the Pittsburgh Steelers, an absolute steal for me, in my opinion, and such an underrated tight end. Pat Freiermuth. Put him on my team. I think he is going to be at least top 6 tight end all day long. And he's going to outperform his ADP, and I think he's a very safe pick. And I think him and Kenny Pickett are just going to be really electric this year. So maybe he will be the wide receiver 1. Maybe the 3rd Steeler in this round off the board will be the wide receiver 1.
That's not going to happen.
I'm not going to take that bet, but I definitely like Pat Freiermuth. Definitely been a my guy all season.
I feel like he's been all of our. We've all been pretty high on him this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. And then I'm sorry to do it to you, Shane. He probably won't follow you anyways, but give me Jordan Addison. I'm feeling really confident in him. I think he's going to be absolutely electric as the Vikings wide receiver 2. I want him on my team.
You know, it's fine. So after Stores went AJ Dillon, David Montgomery.
Don't do it to Dan. Don't do it to Dan.
Wasn't even going to look their way. So, oh my gosh, I just have so many good rookie wide receiver options here. I mean, the obvious one is Mr. Zay Flowers. Although Jahan Dotson sitting up there,
that's what I was going to say.
That's tough, but no, Give me my dude Zay Flowers.
Oh man, that's mean.
You're my guy. That's
You're
Shane's
mean,
my guy.
man. Oh,
Hopefully you
Quinn
get him tomorrow.
Johnston goes one pick before Dan.
And Jahan Dotson's gone too. Wow.
Wow. So Zay Flowers, Dodson, Tony, Brandon Cooks, and Quentin Johnson all go right before me. And I don't even know if I want a receiver at that point. That might just be bad value. And you know what? I'm gonna just draft someone that I've been drafting all off season, and it's gonna be Zach Charbonnet. I think he can have a real role on a real good offense. So I love that. And if
I
K-Walk
do.
goes down,
So with Zach Charbonnet, I do too, but I also feel like we as a fantasy community are just forgetting about Kenneth Walker. Like I have not heard him being. No one's ever talks about him. What he did last year was so special. Maybe Zach Charbonnet isn't as relevant as we think, but it seems like everyone doesn't think that. It seems like everyone's very high on Zach Charbonnet. I mean, I'm not necessarily high on him, but I do like him. I would like him on my teams. I feel like Kenneth Walker is just kind of getting pushed down further and further, more than he should.
I definitely agree that people are forgetting about him. I think he's a good pick where he's going, actually. And I'm gonna take a rookie tight end. Might be a little early, but I've been taking Kincaid in like every single team I have all off season. I think Kincaid's gonna be awesome by the end of the season. He could be a real league winner at the tight end position.
Nope, that's a good pick. I do like Kincaid.
By the way, real quick, we're not doing defense and kickers, and we just have a limited bench just to kind of show you guys the meat and potatoes of our rosters.
Because kickers and defense are a waste of time. After Kincaid went Michael Thomas, Aaron Rodgers, Khalil Herbert, Antonio Gibson.
Dang it.
I could go. I mean, I can go anywhere here. I do like Brian Robinson. I like him a lot. Towards that back half of last year, he was really starting to have solid weeks. So Brian Robinson's in contention. My dude, Treylon Burks. His injury is a little bit scary, but you know what? He's my dude. I'm gonna go Treylon Burks.
Respect.
I like that. My last three picks: Burks, Flowers, Deontay Johnson. Those are three good flex slash bench wide receivers to have.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Well, the last time Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. played on the field, he was in a Super Bowl and he was actually playing very well. And not necessarily a my guy, but I do think it is good value and a good risk to take here. And I do think he complements the way Lamar Jackson plays. So I'm going to take Odell here, and I'm going to feel confident about that, kind of.
Yeah, he's been looking good in camp. He's healthy. He could be a real wide receiver one and a really good offense. So it's kind of a slept on late round pick.
Yeah. And then let's see, Jamal Williams, Cole Kmet, Anthony Richardson, and Rashad Penny go, which is actually really exciting because another guy who I think is kind of being overlooked. Definitely not a super high ceiling, but I definitely think he's going into an offense with a quarterback that's going to definitely target him more and could be a potential late sleeper that I've always been throwing darts at, and that's Mr. Elijah Moore. And I think the Browns, passing game is going to be a lot better. And I think Deshaun Watson could really value a guy like Elijah Moore. So I think he's worth a dart throw.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I already had Elijah Moore hearted on my sleeper board. So I didn't know.
Yep, I saw that.
Oh, I know.
They were
Sorry, Dan.
There's some clips of them using Elijah Moore out of the backfield. So I mean, they use him all over the place. He could be a really good value this late for sure. So after Danny's Elijah Moore pick went Kirk Cousins and Dalton Schultz, and I'm up here with my second to last pick. Ideally, I think I want.
Hey, don't give Danny the credit of Elijah Moore as me.
I would.
Arguably my biggest, he's definitely in my top three, my guy. I'm going to take my boy Chig Okonkwo for my backup tight end here.
Yeah, definitely someone you've been advocating for all off season.
Question for you guys right now: who do you take out of the Colts running backs? Well, Jonathan Taylor's not playing.
I mean, you got to take Deion Jackson, but you honestly probably don't even have to draft him.
Yeah, he's a really good waiver wire ad. And then if you're in a deeper league, Zach Moss will be back soon, and he's probably going to be the bell cow when he's back. So,
what about Evan Hull?
Evan Hull is going to be rotating in a lot. Actually, he could be really good if they go with the hot hand. I feel like he's gonna be pretty good.
I mean, to be honest with you guys, though, like even like a 4 week fling could be very, very beneficial for your team. And that's a potential, top 10, 15 running back each week, for 4 weeks, getting maybe at the last pick or undrafted. So it's not bad to throw a dart on one of those guys.
It could be worth it for sure.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna do it.
I'm just gonna keep drafting rookie running backs or just rookies in general. And I'm gonna take Devon Achane. I've been taking him all offseason just at the off chance that he can take over the Dolphins backfield, because if the Dolphins backfield has just a real RB1 like bell cow 3-down back, he's gonna be amazing. So in the off chance that I can get that in the 10th round, I would definitely love that. Tank Bigsby's also a good option.
Well, and now with no more Jeff Wilson for at least 4 weeks, and Mike McDaniels, whatever it is, he said he made a weird comment about maybe we'll see him sometime this season.
Yeah,
so he could be out all season.
Yeah, he made a very sus comment, so that actually makes me grow on Achane even more. And then with my last pick for this draft, I'm going to decide between Jalen Hyatt and Jonathan Mingo, 2 more rookies. I'm going to go all in on rookies. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with Jalen Hyatt. I like the deep threat. I think that Danny Dimes is going to end up liking him. Hopefully he can have some good hands.
That's a good pick. What are you guys doing? He just went. That's what reminded me. What are you doing with Jameson Williams? He's out the first 6 weeks. And it sounds like Dan Campbell, he also made a weird comment about him. I think it was about something about how he can never be a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. And that completely just kind of disgusted me from Jameson Williams. I don't even want to touch him. I just kind of forgot about Jameson Williams at this point because I don't think he's worth mentioning.
And if you most leagues, it doesn't allow you to put a suspended player on IR, so he's just not worth it at all.
He's going to be clogging up a roster spot.
Yep.
Okay, so after Jalen Hyatt did go Tank Bigsby, that's a shame. He was probably going to be my pick, and then Zeke, Jameson Williams, Geno Smith, and my last pick here. I just realized I took back-to-back Titans and Traylon Burks and Chigakonkwo. That's all right. Not really. I would not do that in real life, but it's a mock draft. Raheem Mostert. That's probably gonna be my pick. Yeah, right now he's the starting running back for the Dolphins. Got to go with him within the last round of our draft here. That's a good value.
Yeah. Danny Dimes goes and Tyler Higbee. I'm gonna go with a guy that's just not very talked about. Maybe not talked about enough. Maybe there's a good reason he's not being talked about, but in my opinion, it's the Texans wide receiver 1, Nico Collins, coming into a new offense with CJ Stroud. Could be something there. Definitely worth a dart throw, in my opinion, especially with the last pick.
I do like Nico Collins as a last round or 2 pick for sure.
Yep, definitely could have a good connection with Stroud. And with that, we'll get into our rosters.
Yes, sir. My favorite time.
Yeah, we'll grade them all. We'll start with Stores' team. I'll let you read your team out.
All right. You got it pulled up there? Yep. All right. So, started off with Bijan Robinson, followed by Mr. Tony Pollard, which is 2 of the highest upside running backs this year. Definitely big boom potential. I don't really think there's a big chance they bust. I think their ceilings are very high with pretty low floors. Absolutely electric runners. And then we got Keenan Allen and Tyler Lockett at the wide receiver duo, which is interesting. But to pair Keenan Allen up with Justin Herbert is a must, and he's very slept on. Definitely an older wide receiver room. And then we get Pat Freiermuth, who I feel like is a very safe, good value tight end, especially in the 7th round. And then we had to go a little bit of upside here. Miles Sanders, Jordan Addison, Odell Beckham, Elijah Moore, and Nico Collins. I'm really excited about Jordan Addison. I think he could, definitely benefit from Justin Jefferson getting double teamed almost every single time he's on the field. So look for Jordan Addison in your drafts because he could definitely be a steal.
Yeah, Jordan Addison on your team makes me want to raise your grade up a little bit. I think I'm going to go with I like this team. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the 8.5. I like this team.
Thanks, Dan.
So a B. He gave you a B.
Solid
B.
B, in our last one. I definitely, went a little upside, then went a little old, then got Eugene. So, it's a fair
It's
grade.
balanced. It's a very balanced team. Like your running backs have all the upside in the world. Your receivers are really low floor. I actually really like it. It's good.
No, this is actually a very good team. There's no really. Dan, scroll down. Let me see his bench. Dude, 4 wide receivers. What in the world? Okay, because of that, I'm giving you a B minus. Just you didn't plan.
We went all upside. We went
but
all upside.
you went all
Wide
no
receivers.
no backup when you have buys or injuries. But just all right, B minus for your whole team. Just your starting lineup, I'll give it a B plus. I do like that starting lineup a lot. It feels safe with huge upside. If Keenan Allen can stay healthy, that's gonna be a great stack to have.
Yeah, that stack definitely boosts it up.
So B plus on the starters, B minus on the bench. So
B minus on the whole team.
So a B grade.
What are you giving yourself?
I'm gonna give myself, just because this is a my guy.
If this was your team tomorrow, how are you feeling?
I would be ecstatic if this was my team tomorrow. I think I would give myself an A minus. I definitely think there definitely was some reaches in here, which I think tomorrow I'll maybe go a little bit safer out. But if we were doing a my guy in this one, these are guys I do really want to have on my team. So I did reach and on certain players.
Smoke, you're not going to be safe tomorrow. Okay, my team here. Justin Fields at quarterback. That I absolutely love that dude. It's tough in the 4th round. It's that 4th round feels like a very weird round this year. I feel like if I don't get Mahomes, I'm probably going to be taking quarterback in the 4th round, and I want Fields if I'm going quarterback there. Love that pick. Saquon and Najee, those are just great running backs in the 1st and 3rd round. CD and Deontay as my wide receivers. In real life, I would never go to guys from the same team like that, running back and wide receiver, but Deontay was a great value. Darren Waller, I'm a huge Darren Waller guy. You guys have heard me rave about him. If he can just stay healthy, this dude is a top 3 tight end. And Alexander Mattison. I mean, I'd say Alexander Mattison is my number 1 my guy this year. He's my dude. I want him so bad. Such great value. So I love. I also like having a running back in my flex. I don't know why. It just feels better for some reason. I can't explain it. It just feels like I have more.
You get in the PPR league, you get the receptions and the rushing. You get more of a high floor. I understand that's safer.
And then just pure upside on my bench with Zay Flowers, Traylon Burks, Chigakonkwo, and then looking like a starting running back for the Dolphins, Raheem Mostert. I definitely think it's a good bench. Not gonna lie, I think it's a solid. I was gonna say A. I'm gonna give it a B plus. Just the Najee and Deontay kind of throw me off. Yeah, B plus.
I'm going to give you an 8.6. Your and Josh's teams are really similar to me, in my opinion. And I think I'm going to give you the edge barely because I think this is the team that I would draft. I think this is a really similar team to me with like Zay Flowers and Saquon and CD and Justin Fields. I just feel like this is the team I would draft. So I'm going to give you the edge barely because
Sweet.
Close.
Yeah, I'm gonna one up Dan and give you an 8.7. I really like it. It feels like a draft that I would do too. And it feels like you picked everyone in about their right ADPs. You didn't really reach too much. And so I'm gonna go an 8.7 for you.
And I just blanked. But what I was gonna say, even though I wasn't like ideally, I think the best pick this year is what Stores had 10th pick or on 10, 11, 12. So I think considering I had one of the worst picks, 6, 7, I hate those picks. It turned out pretty well.
One last discussion. So you drafted 2 Giants in your starting lineup and 2 Steelers in your starting lineup. So that's 2 teams that are taking up 2.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
and me and Josh, you made fun of me and Josh for doing that in our draft earlier. We got 2 Chargers and 2 Lions. So I'm just
I changed my grade. I give myself a D plus. That is never ever do that. A running back and a tight end, a running back and a tight end, and then a running back and a wide receiver from the same team, all 4 in your starting lineup. That is capping your potential so bad. Not it's just it is such a bad thing to do to your starting lineup, because there's only one football to be tossed around. If you don't have the quarterback throwing at 20 of your guys, you're capped every single play. You're seriously capped. That's such a bad thing to do. I can't believe I just did that.
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to do.
I think it's pretty bad.
Because when you're getting the team's top 2 players, it's almost like every other play is going to one of your guys, and it's fun to watch. And I feel like you're getting most of that offense's production.
But it's going to happen, especially on a not as great teams. I know both Steelers and Giants are good teams, but still, a bad week, and there's 2 guys that are just irrelevant for you. It's just not a smart thing to do mathematically. I can't remember who it was, but there was not a stack, but a running back wide receiver duo, and it was like they were good when the other was bad. So it was like the wide receiver was good and the running back was bad, and then it's like vice versa. So that's pretty much the norm for the most part. Obviously, here and there, you're going to get some crazy boom big weeks from both guys, but man, I hate that. That's terrible.
It does add a new level of volatility to your team. It's scary, but it could give you upside too. If you're 2 really good offenses, it could be good sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely not, obviously, when you're doing a wide receiver. So one of me and Dan's stacks was the chart was Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, and then we did do Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. But I'm not too worried. It's really only one team that we paired up, and then the other one you want to have a good stack with the quarterback 1 and a wide receiver 1.
Oh, gross. All right, Dan, let's hear yours.
We'll go over my team. We got Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. We got Jahmyr Gibbs and Javonte Williams at the running back position. Took them in the 3rd and 6th round. And then in my first 2 rounds, I took Jamar Chase and Chris Olave. And then I took George Pickens in the 7th. I got Hawkinson at tight end in the 4th round. And then on my bench, I've got Charbonnet, Kincaid, Achane, and Hyatt. So just all rookies for upside on my bench. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be throwing darts for all my bench spots. But I don't mind my starting lineup. I think this is my best mock draft that I've had in our mock draft series on this channel. I think this is a team I wouldn't mind if I got tomorrow. What would you guys grade it first?
So what's bringing the grade down is your running backs. It's not bringing it down a ton, but your running backs are probably your weak point of this team. You got a rookie in Jahmyr Gibbs. Granted, I think he's going to be great. And then you got a Denver Bronco ACL/MCL tear coming off of a bad injury, Javonte. Those are scary, but they could both work out very well. So because of that, I feel like we're always right around the same. I'm going to give it. I mean, your wide receivers are nuts. TJ Hawkinson's such a safe tight end with boom potential. Trevor Lawrence is the definition of a safe quarterback. I'm going to give it a B. It's called me boring, but it's a B.
Yeah, I really like this team, Dan. I think you have a lot of upside in it, and yet it does still feel balanced to me. I'm not too scared of your running backs. Your wide receivers are electric. You got an absolute steal in the 4th round at almost the 5th round, the 4-11 with TJ Hawkinson. That's tremendous value. George Pickens is a high upside flex. I really like Trevor Lawrence in the 5th round or later. I think he's an absolute steal. So I don't know. I actually really like your team. I'm gonna be generous, and I'm gonna give you an A, because I do like the upside, and I do really like the balance of this team.
I like it. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense because Shane's a little lower on Javonte and Josh is a little higher on Javonte, and it all depends on my running backs. If my running backs can hit, then this team can be great. I think I'm going to give myself an 8.5. I agree with Shane. I think B is pretty fair.
Next time we record, we will have our it seems like the name changes every year because Stores is the commissioner, but it's our main league. I think it's the First Order, some Star Wars bullcrap. But we'll have our teams in our main league, and we should share them and have people see what they grade them, see what they think of our teams. We're switching it up this year. We added 2 flexes, so it's a 12-man full PPR. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex, tight end, kicker, defense. So
we could do a reaction video tomorrow, and it might be kind of fun if we just do one after the draft tomorrow night. Do a
we
kind
can
of reaction video, get on, talk about our teams for a minute. I think that could be fun. I think people enjoy that.
I'm down.
Yeah,
Let's
that'd
do it.
definitely be really fun. I feel like we're gonna be doing a lot of talking about our teams. I'm so excited because it's the best day of the year. Just it's hard. It's gonna be hard to sleep tonight, and then tomorrow's Christmas Day. We're gonna have our teams, and we can stare at our teams every night before bed.
Exactly. I did so much preparation today with my stuff on my Excel sheets. Got my note. I'm so ready for tomorrow, man.
I'm just trying to keep my mind busy because it's hard. It's hard to wait till tomorrow. It's just I gotta distract myself with something else.
Yeah, me and Shane are golfing to distract ourselves, but hopefully you guys are drafting tomorrow, honestly, because the later the better. So this was a really fun episode. I feel like we talked about a lot of guys we've been pounding the table for all offseason. So check out the NFL Seekers podcast on all platforms. We got a bunch of fantasy rankings out and a bunch of cool NFL contests. So check out the NFL Seekers. Thanks for tuning in. Peace, guys.
Peace.